When the most powerful Lycan king in centuries collapses at my clinic door, bleeding silver and begging for mercy, I should have let him die. After all, his father murdered my entire family and exiled me from the pack. But life's never that simple. The storm hits just after midnight, rattling the shutters of my cabin like an angry spirit demanding entry. I'm grinding wolfsbane into paste. Ironic, considering what I am. When I hear it. A crash. Heavy. Deliberate. Someone's at my door. I freeze, pestle suspended over mortar. Nobody comes out here. Not in weather like this. Not to the edge of nowhere where rogues and outcasts make their homes. That's the whole point of exile. You disappear. Another crash, weaker this time. Then a voice, rough as gravel. Please. That single word makes me move. I've heard begging before, plenty of it. Rogues show up bleeding, starving, half mad from loneliness. I patch them up and send them on their way. But this voice carries weight. Power even in its desperation. This isn't some drifter who wandered too far from his pack. I open the door and my heart stops. 3 wolves in human form stand in the driving rain. 2 of them are holding up the third, who's barely conscious, head lolling forward. Even in the darkness, I recognize the leather and silver insignia on their tactical gear. Royal warriors from the central pack. The Blackthorn pack. My hand tightens on the door. No. Please. The one on the left says. He's young, maybe early 30s, with lieutenant marks on his collar. You're Arya Thornwood, the healer. I don't heal pack wolves. My voice comes out flat, dead. Especially not Blackthorn's. He's dying. Good. I start to close the door, but the man in the middle lifts his head. Rain streams down his face, plastering dark hair to his forehead. His eyes meet mine. Wolf gold, burning with fever and something else. Recognition, maybe. Or resignation. Arya Thornwood, he rasps. Daughter of Marcus and Helena Thornwood. Exiled at 16 after your family was slaughtered in the Rogue Purge. The words hit like physical blows. I haven't heard those names spoken aloud in 9 years. Haven't let myself think them. Get off my property, I whisper. Your sister. He coughs and blood, silver-tinged blood, spills from his lips. Elena. She's alive. The world tilts. Elena. My baby sister. 10 years old the night the royal guards came. The night King Maddox ordered our family eliminated because my father dared to question his authority. I'd searched for weeks after, half mad with grief until I finally accepted the truth. Elena was gone. They were all gone. You're lying, I say, but my voice shakes. Sheltering her, 5 years now. His legs buckle and the warriors struggle to hold him upright. Protected her. From the same enemies poisoning me. The lieutenant steps forward. Please, we've been to every healer in 3 territories. The royal physicians can't cure him. The silver's in his bloodstream. It should have killed him weeks ago, but he's fighting it. Barely. There's a prophecy. The other warrior adds desperately. Only the healer touched by moonlight can save the king. You're the only one born under a blue moon in the last century. I laugh. Sharp and bitter. A prophecy. How convenient. But I'm staring at the dying man between them, trying to reconcile what I'm seeing. This is Lucian Blackthorn, the new Lycan king, son of Maddox Blackthorn, the bastard who ordered my family's execution. I'd heard about his coronation 2 years ago, heard whispers that he was different from his father. Stronger, more ruthless in some ways, but fair. Not that I cared. He'd still let my family's murders go unpunished. Where is she? I demand. Where's Elena? Lucian's gold eyes lock onto mine. Save me. I'll take you to her. Tell me now or I shut this door. No. He coughs again. More blood. You'll vanish the moment you have her location. Need leverage. Damn him. Damn him for being right. Fine, I snap. Bring him inside. But I'm not making promises. They half carry, half drag him through my door. Up close, Lucian Blackthorn is bigger than I expected. At least 6'3", built like warriors used to be built before modern packs went soft. Muscle and scars and raw power even in his weakened state. The silver poisoning has turned his skin gray, veins black around his throat and wrists. Someone wanted him dead slowly, painfully. Table, I order, shoving herbs and supplies aside. They lay him down and he groans, the sound dragged from somewhere deep. How long since the poisoning started? 6 weeks, the lieutenant says. Maybe 7. It's hard to tell when it began. 6 weeks. He should be dead. Silver in a werewolf's bloodstream is like acid in human veins. It burns, corrodes, destroys. The fact that he's still breathing means he's either incredibly strong or incredibly stubborn. Probably both. I examine him quickly, professionally, keeping my touch clinical. His fever's astronomical, pulse thready. The silver's concentrated around his heart. Whoever did this knew exactly where to strike. A few more days and it'll reach the organ itself, and not even a Lycan king can survive that. I need you both out, I tell the warriors. Wait in the next room. We're not leaving him, the lieutenant says immediately. Then watch him die. I meet his eyes. What I do isn't pretty, and it isn't pack approved. Either trust me or get out of my house. They exchange glances. Finally, reluctantly, they retreat to my small living area. I hear them pacing, restless and worried. I turn back to Lucian. He's watching me through half-closed eyes. Why, Elena? I ask quietly, gathering supplies. Moonflower extract. Purified silver for counteracting poison. My mother's old healing stones. Why would you protect my sister? Because. His voice is barely audible. My father was wrong. About your family. About the purge. I was 20 when it happened. Couldn't stop it. But you're king now. You could have made it right. Couldn't make you trust me. Not after what he did. He draws a ragged breath. So I kept her safe. Waited for the day you'd need me. The audacity. The calculated manipulation. You bastard. Yes. Something like a smile touches his gray lips. But I kept her alive. Can you say the same? The words strike home because he's right. I ran. I survived. But I never knew Elena was alive to be saved. I press my hands to his chest, over his heart, and close my eyes. Healing magic isn't like pack magic. It doesn't come from wolf nature or lunar power. It comes from something older, something the first healers drew from the earth itself. My mother taught me before she died. My grandmother taught her. Touch, intent, will. The magic rises through me like water from a deep well, cool and bright. I feel the silver in his bloodstream, a jagged network of poison spreading through his body. It burns my senses, makes my wolf whimper and retreat. Silver is anathema to our kind. But I push deeper, wrapping my magic around the foreign substance, pulling it away from vital organs, drawing it toward expulsion points. Lucian jerks beneath my hands, back arching. Hold still, I mutter. Trying. His voice is strained. Feels like fire. That's your body fighting me. Stop it. He goes still, submitting in a way that must cost him. Lucian Blackthorn didn't become king by being passive. But right now, he's putting his life in my hands. The hands of someone who should want him dead. Maybe he's counting on that. Maybe he knows that healers can't willingly let someone die, not when we have the power to save them. It's a compulsion, a calling. The moon goddesses joke on our kind. The magic flows stronger, silver and gold intertwining as I work. That's odd. My healing magic's always been pure gold before, warm as summer sunlight. But now there's silver threading through it, bright as starlight. And it's not coming from the poison. It's coming from him. Our magic tangles together, his alpha power and my healing gift, creating something I've never felt before, something that makes my breath catch and my heart race. The connection deepens, strengthens, becomes a living bridge between us. No, 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 no. I try to pull back, but it's too late. The mate bond slams into place with the force of a physical blow, snapping tight between us like a cord of pure light. I feel him gasp, feel his shock mirror my own as the connection floods both our senses with recognition. Mine. His wolf snarls through the bond. Mine. I stumble backward, breaking contact. Lucian sits up, too fast for someone who was dying seconds ago, and stares at me with wide gold eyes. You, he breathes. You're... Don't, I snarl. Don't you dare say it. But the bond pulses between us, undeniable. The moon goddess, in her infinite cruelty, has fated me to the son of my family's murderer, to the Lycan king, to the man who held my sister hostage to force my hand. Lucian Blackthorn is my mate, and I have absolutely no idea what the hell I'm supposed to do now. Wanting to see what would happen next? Subscribe to this channel to get to listen to more of our upcoming exciting stories. Click on the subscribe button now. Thank you. Chapter 2. The silence that follows my realization stretches like broken glass, sharp enough to cut, fragile enough to shatter everything. Lucian's still staring at me, chest heaving, the gray pallor of silver poisoning already creeping back into his skin. The healing bought him hours, maybe a day. Not nearly enough. This changes nothing, I say, my voice hard as stone. The bond is a mistake. The moon goddess doesn't make mistakes. His voice is stronger now, colored with that alpha authority that probably makes his warriors fall in line. It just makes me angry. Then she has a sick sense of humor. I turn away, busying myself with cleaning up supplies. Anything to avoid looking at him, at the golden eyes that now see too much. The mate bond hums between us like a plucked string, wanting acknowledgement, wanting acceptance. I want to see Elena, now. That's not possible. I spin back around. You promised. I said I'd take you to her if you saved my life. He stands slowly, testing his restored strength. The warriors must hear him moving because they burst through the door, hands on weapons. Lucian waves them off. I'm not saved yet. The silver's already returning. I can feel it too, through our cursed connection. The poison threading back through his veins like creeping vines. What do you mean, returning? Show her, Lucian tells the lieutenant. The younger man pulls out a medical file, handing it to me with reluctant respect. I flip through it. Blood work, healing reports, timelines. My stomach sinks with each page. Someone's dosing you continuously, I say. The silver's not residual. It's being reintroduced into your system every few days. Which means there's a traitor in my inner circle. Lucian's expression darkens. Someone with access to my food, my quarters, my personal supplies. Someone who wants me dead slowly enough that it looks like the poisoning happened weeks ago, before I could have prevented it. So find them and kill them. I toss the file back. That's what kings do, isn't it? Problem solved. And risk Elena's life? His words stop me cold. My enemies don't know about her yet, but the moment I start executing suspects, they'll realize their plan is falling apart. They'll look for other leverage, and your sister is the perfect target once they connect her to you. Damn him. Damn him for being right again. How long? I ask. 2 weeks, maybe 3. He moves closer and I force myself to stand my ground, even though the mate bond screams at me to close the distance. Stay at the palace. Keep healing me. Help me identify who's doing this. Once we eliminate the threat, Elena will be safe to retrieve. I don't take orders from kings. Then do it for your sister. His gold eyes bore into mine. Because I promise you, Arya, if I die, the information about her location dies with me. I've made certain of that. You manipulative bastard. Yes. No apology in his voice. No shame. Just cold calculation. but I'm a bastard who's kept her alive for 5 years while you've been hiding in the woods. So tell me, who's better equipped to protect her? The truth of it burns like acid. I've been surviving, yes, staying alive out of spite and stubbornness. But I haven't been looking for Elena. I thought she was dead. I let myself believe it because believing anything else hurt too much. 2 weeks, I say finally. Then you take me to her. And after that, I never want to see you again. Something flickers in his expression. Hurt, maybe, or disappointment. The mate bond pulses unhappily between us. Agreed, he says quietly. Garrett, prepare quarters for Arya in the East Wing, close to my rooms. Absolutely not, I snap. You need to be close enough to reach me if the poisoning accelerates. His tone brooks no argument. And I need you where my guards can protect you. Coming to the palace makes you a target too. Great. Just what I wanted. A target on my back and a mate bond I can't break. The drive to Blackthorn Palace takes 2 hours through winding mountain roads. I ride in stony silence while Lucian drifts in and out of consciousness in the back seat. Garrett driving with the kind of controlled panic that says he's terrified of losing his king. The other warrior, Marcus, I learn, keeps glancing at me like I'm a bomb about to explode. Smart man. Dawn's breaking when we arrive, painting the palace in shades of amber and gold. It's massive, all stone and timber and ancient power, built into the mountainside like it grew there naturally. I used to see it from a distance when I was young, when my family still lived in the Central Pack territory. My father brought me here once for a gathering. Maddox Blackthorn sat on that throne and smiled while ordering death warrants. Now his son rules. His son, who's my mate. Who I should hate but can't quite manage through the bond's insistent pull. Arya. Lucian's voice is rough. He's awake again, watching me. Thank you. For coming. Don't thank me. I climb out of the car without looking at him. I'm not here for you. But the bond whispers liar, and we both know it. The palace is chaos. Word spread that the king returned with a mysterious healer, and pack members crowd the corridors, whispering and staring. I feel their eyes on me like physical weight. Some curious, most hostile. A healer from exile. A Thornwood. The daughter of traitors. Make way, Garrett barks, clearing a path. The king requires rest. We're halfway to the residential wing when she appears. Lady Seraphina of the Silver Crescent Pack is everything I'm not. Polished, elegant, perfectly groomed even at dawn. Her honey blonde hair falls in artful waves. Her designer clothes probably cost more than my entire cabin. And she moves with the practiced grace of someone who's been trained since birth to be a king's consort. She stops dead when she sees Lucian leaning on his warriors, then her ice blue eyes cut to me. What? She says slowly. Is this? My personal healer, Lucian says. Lady Seraphina, meet Arya Thornwood. Recognition flashes across her perfect features, followed by something cold and calculating. Thornwood, the exiled family. That's right. I meet her stare without flinching. Problem? Several. Actually. She steps closer to Lucian, possessive. Darling, you can't be serious. Bringing her here? The elders will revolt. The elders don't have silver poisoning. Lucian straightens, pulling away from his warrior's support, trying to look stronger than he is. Arya stays. For how long? As long as necessary. Seraphina's smile is razor sharp. How convenient. The king near death, and suddenly his savior appears, almost like it was planned. Careful, I say softly. Accusing me of poisoning him seems like projection. After all, who has more to gain from his death? The exile with nothing or the ambitious lady waiting to rule? Her eyes flash wolf gold. How dare you? Enough. Lucian's command cuts through the tension. Seraphina, I'll speak with you later. Right now, I need rest. She watches us go, and I feel her hatred like daggers in my back. She's delightful, I mutter once we're out of earshot. She's politically necessary, Lucian says. Our packs have a treaty that depends on this marriage alliance. Congratulations on your upcoming nuptials. There won't be any nuptials. He glances at me. Not now that the bond... Don't. I cut him off. We're not discussing this. We reach his quarters, a suite of rooms that's bigger than my entire cabin, all dark wood and leather and masculine comfort. Garrett and Marcus do a security sweep while Lucian collapses into a chair by the window. You should sleep, I tell him. Can't. Council meeting in 2 hours. Need to show strength. He's already graying again, the silver spreading like frost through his veins. How long will your healing last? Depends on how often they're dosing you. I kneel beside him, trying to ignore how the bond sings at our proximity. Show me your quarters. Everything you eat, drink, touch regularly. The next hour is spent examining every surface, every container, every possible delivery method for the poison. Nothing's obvious. Whoever's doing this is careful, professional. It's not in the food, I say finally. I'd smell it. Silver has a distinctive scent, especially mixed with other compounds. Then where? I'm about to answer when my fingers brush against something on his desk. A leather-bound journal. The contact sends a shock through my system. Magic recognizing magic. This, I say, lifting it carefully. There's something in the leather treatment. Old magic, mixed with silver dust. Every time you touch it, you absorb trace amounts through your skin. Lucian stares at the journal like it's betrayed him. That's been on my desk for months. It was a gift from... He stops, face hardening. From the Council of Elders, after my coronation. Well, I set it down, not touching it again. That narrows your suspect list. Before he can respond, there's a knock. Garrett enters with an elderly woman in traditional elder robes. She takes one look at me and her expression shudders. King Lucian, she says coldly. The council requests an emergency session. The pack is in an uproar over your decision to bring the Thornwood exile into the palace. Elder Moira. Lucian stands, swaying slightly. I move to steady him instinctively, and her eyes narrow at the gesture. Tell the council I'll address their concerns this afternoon. They demand an audience now. Her gaze flicks to me. Some of us remember what her family did, what her father tried to do. My father questioned corruption, I snap, and died for it. Your father was planning to assassinate King Maddox, she says. He was a traitor and a murderer. The words hit like physical blows. That's a lie. Is it? Elder Moira's smile is cruel. Perhaps you should ask your king about the evidence we found. The weapons, the plans. Your father wanted to destroy our pack from within. That's enough, Lucian says, but I'm already moving toward her. My father was a healer, like me. He took an oath to preserve life, not take it. Then he broke his oath, as you're breaking yours by poisoning our king. I'm saving him. You delusional... Arya. Lucian's hand on my arm stops me. The touch sends electricity through the mate bond, calming my wolf despite my fury. She's baiting you. Don't give her ammunition. I force myself to breathe, to step back. Elder Moira watches with satisfaction. The council convenes at noon, she says. Your healer will be required to attend. We have questions about her methods and her motives. She leaves in a swirl of robes. I turn to Lucian, who's leaning heavily against the desk. What evidence? I demand. What was she talking about? He meets my eyes and I see something like regret there. Later. Right now I need... He collapses. I catch him before he hits the floor, my healing magic surging automatically. The silver's accelerating, spreading faster than before. Someone must have dosed him recently. Very recently. Garrett! I lower Lucian to the floor, pressing my hands to his chest. Get everyone out. Now. The warrior hesitates. But... out. He retreats, and I focus everything on the man dying beneath my hands. The mate bond screams in distress, feeding me strength I didn't know I had. Silver and gold magic intertwines again, brighter than before, burning away the poison with ruthless efficiency. But this time I feel something else in the silver, something dark and twisted. Not just poison, magic. Old magic. The kind that costs blood and pain to create. This isn't just an assassination, I whisper, horror dawning. This is a curse. The silver isn't random. It's targeted, designed specifically to attack royal bloodlines. Wolfsbane mixed with dark magic. Created by someone who knows exactly what they're doing and has access to forbidden spells. Lucian's eyes flutter open. What? Shh, don't move. I pour more healing into him, but the curse fights back, trying to re-establish its hold. Someone really wants you dead, and they're not playing around. I work for what feels like hours, but is probably only minutes. Finally, the worst of it clears, and Lucian's breathing steadies. His color returns to something approaching normal. Better? I ask. Much. He catches my hand before I can pull away. Thank you. Don't. I'm just protecting my leverage. But the words sound hollow even to me. The mate bond pulses warmly between us, satisfied by our proximity, our cooperation. I hate how good it feels. How right. I pull away, standing on shaky legs. You need to rest. Real rest. And I need to research this curse. Someone in this palace has access to dark magic, which means... A piece of paper on Lucian's desk catches my eye. It wasn't there before. Someone must have slipped it under the door while I was healing him. I pick it up, blood running cold as I read the coded message. Phase 2 initiated. The healer has returned as predicted. Proceed with escalation. Eliminate both targets by the next moon. Lucian. My voice shakes. Someone knew I would come. This whole thing, the poisoning, the prophecy, using Elena as leverage. It's not just about killing you. It's about getting me here. He takes the note, face darkening as he reads. Which means Elena's location might be compromised. Or it means she was never in danger until I showed up. The realization makes me sick. I walked right into their trap. Before either of us can process this, Garrett bursts back in. Your Majesty, there's been an incident. You need to come immediately. We follow him to the main hall where a crowd has gathered. Lady Seraphina stands in the center, holding something up for everyone to see. A vial, filled with silver liquid and wolfsbane. I found this, she announces, voice carrying through the hall. In the personal belongings of Arya Thornwood, the same compound that's been poisoning our king. Every eye turns to me, hostile, accusing. That's not mine, I say, but my voice is drowned out by angry muttering. She's been poisoning him, someone shouts. Exile scum. She's here to finish what her father started. Seraphina's smile is triumphant. Your Majesty, I demand this woman be arrested immediately for attempted regicide. The crowd roars approval. Guards move forward, hands on weapons, and Lucian stands frozen between me and his pack, the weight of leadership and the pull of the mate bond warring in his expression. Lucian, I say quietly, if you don't defend me now, we both know what happens. His jaw clenches. The mate bond screams at him to protect me. But 300 pack members are watching, waiting to see if their king will choose an exiled healer over pack stability. The silence stretches like a blade against my throat. And I realize that no matter what he chooses, everything's about to get much, much worse. If you're still listening to this story up to this point, why don't you subscribe to this channel to continue getting impactful daily stories like this? We would be most grateful if you can do that to help boost this video to reach everyone. Thank you. Chapter 3. The silence in the Great Hall feels like standing at the edge of a cliff. One wrong word and everything falls. Lucian's still frozen between me and the mob, his expression unreadable. The mate bond thrums with his internal struggle, showing me flashes of what he's feeling. Duty warring with instinct, political calculation battling primal need to protect. 300 pack members watch their king, waiting to see if he'll choose the exile or his kingdom. Lady Seraphina raises the vial higher, silver liquid catching the light. Your Majesty, the evidence is clear. She's been slowly poisoning you while pretending to heal. Enough. Lucian's voice cracks like thunder. The entire hall goes silent. I invoke the Lex Regis. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Even I know what that means. The ancient law that allows a reigning monarch to place anyone under personal royal protection, making them untouchable until a formal investigation concludes. You can't be serious, Elder Moira sputters. She's in exile, a Thornwood. Her family was executed without trial. Lucian cuts her off, his alpha power rolling through the hall like a physical force. My father denied them the very law I'm now invoking. I won't repeat his mistakes. His gold eyes sweep the crowd. Arya Thornwood is under my protection. Anyone who harms her answers to me personally. The threat hangs in the air. Several pack members step back instinctively. Seraphina's perfect composure cracks. This is madness. She could kill you in your sleep. Then I'll die with honor intact. Lucian moves to stand between me and the crowd, a physical barrier. Elder Cassius, I want a full investigation. Interview everyone who had access to my quarters. Test that vial for fingerprints and magical signatures. And find out how it ended up in Arya's belongings when she arrived at the palace less than 6 hours ago. Smart. He's poking holes in their narrative without directly accusing anyone. Elder Cassius steps forward, an ancient wolf with steel-gray hair and eyes like chips of ice. He was at my father's trial. I remember him. He smiled when they read the death sentence. As you command, Your Majesty. His voice drips false respect. Though I must protest placing a suspected assassin under your personal protection. The law exists to shield the innocent, not the guilty. Then the investigation will prove her innocence. Lucian's tone brooks no argument. Guards, escort Arya to the East Wing guest quarters. Post sentries at her door. She's to receive anything she requires for her comfort. House arrest, I mutter. How generous. His eyes meet mine briefly, and through the bond I feel his message. Trust me, I don't. But I also don't have a choice. 2 guards flank me as we leave the hall. I feel everyone's eyes burning into my back. Hatred, suspicion, fear. Seraphina's ice blue glare follows me until I'm out of sight. The guest quarters turn out to be a suite that's bigger and nicer than anywhere I've ever lived. Silk curtains, antique furniture, a bed that could sleep 4. There's even a small library and a balcony overlooking the gardens. Prison with good thread count, I say to the guards. How thoughtful. They don't respond, just take up positions outside my door. I hear the lock click. I spend the next hour pacing, my wolf restless and angry. The mate bond pulses with Lucian's presence somewhere in the palace. I can feel him moving through the building, sense his exhaustion and pain as the silver starts creeping back. He needs another healing session soon. But first, I need answers. I'm examining the balcony for escape routes when there's a knock. The door opens to reveal Marcus, the warrior from last night. He's cleaned up since the desperate drive through the storm, his dark hair neat and his uniform crisp, but his eyes are still wary. May I come in? He asks. Do I have a choice? Always. He enters anyway, closing the door behind him. I'm Marcus Steele. Beta to King Lucian, also his friend since we were kids. Here to interrogate me? Here to talk. He settles into a chair uninvited. Because something about this whole situation stinks, and I think you know it too. I study him carefully. He's younger than I expected for a beta, maybe 30, with the kind of easy confidence that comes from genuine competence rather than arrogance. His wolf is strong. I can feel it even without trying. But there's intelligence in his eyes that says he's more than just muscle. Why would the beta of the Lycan King trust an exile? I ask. I don't trust you. Yet. He leans forward. But I trust Lucian's instincts. And he thinks you're innocent. More importantly, the timeline doesn't work. The silver poisoning started 6 months ago. No one knew you'd return until 3 days ago when Lucian left to find you. So someone planted that vial. Obviously, question is who and why. He pulls out a tablet showing me security footage. This is from your quarters this morning. Watch. The video shows my empty suite. Then a figure in a hooded cloak slips through the door, which should have been locked, and places something in the wardrobe. The whole thing takes 30 seconds. Can't see their face, I observe. No, but notice the build? Too small for most males. Could be female. He swipes to another image. And look at this. It's a freeze frame of the figure's hand. On one finger, barely visible, is a ring, silver with a blue stone. The silver crescent pack seal. Marcus says quietly. Lady Seraphina's pack. My eyebrows rise. Bold of you to show me this. Lucian needs allies right now, not more enemies. He puts the tablet away. Someone very powerful wants both of you dead. The king from poison, you from execution for his murder. Efficient. And you're offering what, exactly? Partnership. You keep healing, Lucian. I help you find who's really behind this. He meets my eyes. I know you hate us. Hate this pack. Hate everything the Blackthorn name stands for. But Lucian's not his father. He's trying to fix the old bastard's mistakes. If he dies, everything goes back to the way it was. Or worse. What do you mean, worse? Marcus hesitates, then seems to make a decision. Elder Cassius leads a faction called the Purists. They believe supernatural abilities beyond basic shifting are corruption. Healers, seers, magic workers. They think you're all abominations that dilute pure wolf bloodlines. Ice runs down my spine. My father spoke out against them. Your father was going to testify before the High Council that the Purists were conducting illegal experiments on healers, trying to breed out the magic. Marcus's expression darkens. 3 days before he could testify, King Maddox ordered the purge. Your entire family was executed for conspiracy to commit regicide, charges that were never proven because there was no trial. The room tilts. Cassius orchestrated it. We think so, but we can't prove it. Maddox destroyed all the evidence before he died. He stands, moving to the window. Lucian's been trying to uncover the truth for 2 years. He found Elena first. She was being held in a purist research facility. He got her out and hid her before they could realize she was missing. A facility. My voice shakes. What were they doing to her? Testing her blood, trying to understand healer genetics. His jaw clenches. She was 10 years old and they treated her like a lab rat. Lucian found her by accident during a military inspection. He couldn't reveal what he'd found without starting a civil war, so he took her and disappeared her into protective custody. I sink into a chair, processing this. Elena alive. Elena tortured by the same people who killed our parents. And Lucian, the son of our family's murderer, had saved her. Where is she now? I ask quietly. Northern Pack territory. Living with a trusted ally under a false identity. She thinks she's an orphan who was rescued from rogues. He looks at me. Lucian thought it was kinder than telling her the truth, that her family was slaughtered and she spent 2 years as a science experiment. Tears burn my eyes, but I refuse to let them fall. I want to see her. You will, once we eliminate the threat. Marcus moves toward the door. There are hidden passages throughout the palace, old escape routes from the founding era. I'll show you tonight. You'll need them if things go badly. You think things will go badly? His smile is grim. Things are already bad. They're about to get worse. He leaves and I'm alone again with my thoughts and the relentless pulse of the mate bond. 2 hours later, a servant brings food and a message. The king requires a healing session at sunset. I'm escorted through the palace by 4 guards, drawing stares and whispers everywhere we go. I catch fragments of conversation. Exile scum. Poisoning him while pretending. Should have left her to rot. I keep my head high and my expression blank. Let them hate me. I've survived worse. Lucian's quarters are under heavy guard. Inside, I find him at his desk, gray-faced and sweating. The silver's spreading faster now. Whoever dosed him last did it recently. You look like death, I tell him. Feel like it too. He tries to smile, but it comes out as more of a grimace. Thank you for coming. Not like I had a choice. I move behind him, placing my hands on his shoulders. The mate bond sings at the contact. Your beta visited me. I know, I sent him. He showed me things about my family, about what really happened. Lucian's quiet for a moment. I wanted to tell you myself, but I wasn't sure you'd believe me. I'm not sure I do believe it. But even as I say it, I know it's a lie. The pieces fit too well. Tell me about Elena, the truth. So he does. While I work on drawing the silver from his system, he tells me everything. Finding her in that facility, the scars on her small wrists from restraints, the terror in her eyes. How he smuggled her out in the middle of the night and drove 12 hours to get her to safety. How he visits her twice a year, always in disguise to make sure she's healthy and happy and healing. She's resilient, he says softly. Like you. She's training to be a veterinarian now. Loves animals. Has a dog named Bear. My chest aches. Does she remember us? Some. She has nightmares still, but her adoptive family is good to her. They think she's human. We've been suppressing her wolf with medication so she doesn't shift and reveal herself. You're drugging her? The healer in me recoils. Protecting her. His voice hardens. If the purists knew she was alive, they'd take her back. Or kill her. This was the only way. I want to argue, but I can't. Because he's right. Elena safe and human is better than Elena dead or worse. The healing takes longer this time. The curse mark is deeper, fighting harder. By the time I finish, we're both exhausted. It's getting worse, I say. Whoever's doing this is escalating. I know. He turns to face me, and suddenly we're very close. The mate bond thrums between us, wanting, demanding. Arya, I need to tell you something about that night. The night of the purge. Don't. I was 17. My father ordered me to lead the raid. His gold eyes are haunted. I refused, said your father deserved a trial, that the evidence was circumstantial. He touches his ribs unconsciously. He broke 3 of my ribs and exiled me to the military front, told me I was weak, corrupted by healer sympathy. And you let him do it anyway, I whisper. I was a boy. Pain roughens his voice. By the time I got back from exile, your family was dead and you'd disappeared. I spent years looking for survivors, found Elena, kept searching for you. But you'd gone completely off-grid. Because I knew if I came back, I'd die. I should pull away, but I don't. You expect me to forgive you because you tried to stop it? No. I expect you to understand I'm trying to make it right. His hand comes up slowly, giving me time to move away. When I don't, he cups my face gently. I know you feel it too. The bond. And I know you hate it. Hate me. I should hate you. I correct. But I can't decide if you're a better man than your father or just better at manipulation. Maybe both. His thumb brushes my cheekbone. But I swear to you, Arya, I will find who's doing this. I will protect Elena. And I will give you the choice I never had. To accept this bond or reject it freely. The words shock me. Rejecting a mate bond is possible but agonizing. Like tearing out part of your soul. Most wolves would rather die than go through it. You'd let me reject you? If that's what you need to heal. He leans his forehead against mine, and the bond surges with his sincerity. I won't trap you the way my father trapped everyone around him. I don't know what to say to that. So I kiss him instead. It's not gentle. It's fury and grief and 9 years of pain poured into one desperate connection. He responds instantly, pulling me closer, and the mate bond explodes between us like lightning. Every nerve ending ignites. Every breath synchronizes. And for just a moment, I let myself feel it. Feel him. Feel the possibility of something other than revenge and survival. Then I pull away, breathing hard. That doesn't mean anything, I say. Of course not. But his eyes say different. I flee before I can do something stupid. Like kiss him again. Like let myself believe that maybe, just maybe, the moon goddess knew what she was doing. The next 2 days pass in a blur of healing sessions and investigation. Marcus shows me the hidden passages as promised. A network of tunnels and secret doors that honeycomb the palace. We use them to spy on Elder Cassius and his allies. What we find is damning. Cassius meets with hooded figures in abandoned wings of the palace, discussing Phase 3 and eliminating the bloodline. They mention my mother specifically, how she was the last of the moon-blessed line, healers whose magic was tied directly to the moon goddess herself. That's why they want you dead, Marcus whispers as we watch from a hidden alcove. You're not just a healer. You're the last of a bloodline they've been trying to eradicate for generations. My mother never told me. Maybe she was trying to protect you. He points to another figure entering the meeting. Look. Lady Seraphina sweeps in, her elegant facade replaced by cold calculation. She kisses Cassius on the cheek. Is it done? The assassin is in position. Cassius confirms. Tonight, the Thornwood girl dies, and with her, any chance of Lucian producing an heir with true power. Ice floods my veins. They're going to kill me to prevent me from having Lucian's children. A moon-blessed bloodline combined with royal alpha power? Marcus's expression is grim. That's the kind of offspring that could change everything. No wonder they're terrified. We slip away before they can sense us. Marcus wants to tell Lucian immediately, but I stop him. Not yet. We need more proof. And I need to be ready. Ready for what? For when they come for me. That night, I don't sleep. I sit by the window in my quarters, watching the moon rise, feeling the assassin approach through the shadows. They're good. I'll give them that. They bypass my guards silently, slip through the door using magic to unlock it, and cross my bedroom like smoke. The knife aimed at my heart never lands. I move on instinct. 9 years of survival training kicking in, catching their wrist and twisting. Bone cracks. They grunt in pain but don't cry out, spinning to attack with their other hand. We fight in deadly silence. They're skilled, trained, ruthless. But I'm fighting for Elena, for my dead family, for the future I never thought I'd want. My healing magic surges, but not to heal, to harm. I learned long ago that the same power that knits flesh can tear it apart. Silver gold energy wraps around the assassin's throat, cutting off air, burning through supernatural defenses. They collapse, gasping. I pin them to the floor, one hand still channeling magic. Who sent you? I demand. The door crashes open. Lucian bursts in with guards. Taking in the scene, me straddling an assassin, my magic glowing like starlight, blood on both our hands. Arya. Stay back, I warn. To the assassin. Answer me. They laugh, a wet, choking sound. Blood bubbles from their lips. Silver poisoning, self-inflicted, a suicide measure. The healer's daughter must die, they rasp. The bloodline must end. Cannot allow the prophecy. What prophecy? Born of moonlight, bearer of the bond, mother of kings. Their eyes fix on Lucian. Your children would be gods among wolves. Cannot allow. Must end the line. Must. They convulse once and go still. Silence. Lucian moves forward slowly, staring at me. At the dead assassin. at the silver gold magic still wreathing my hands. What did they mean? He asked quietly. What bloodline? I meet his eyes, and through the mate bond, I feel his shock, his awe, his dawning understanding. My mother was moon-blessed, I say, the last of a healer line that dates back to the moon goddess herself. And apparently, I look at my glowing hands. I inherited more than just healing magic. They're not trying to kill me to take over the kingdom, Lucian realizes. They're trying to kill both of us to prevent whatever we might create together. I stand, letting the magic fade. Children born from our bond would be something unprecedented, something powerful enough to threaten everything the purists have built. He crosses the room in 3 strides, pulling me against him. The mate bond roars approval. Then we give them something to fear. He growls against my hair. And despite everything, despite the hatred and grief and betrayal, I find myself agreeing. Because if my family's killers are terrified of what Lucian and I might become together, maybe it's time to show them exactly how right they are to be afraid. If you're still listening to this story up to this point, why don't you subscribe to this channel to continue getting impactful daily stories like this? We would be most grateful if you can do that to help boost this video to reach everyone. Thank you. Chapter 4. The palace is in lockdown within minutes. Lucian's command echoes through the halls. All exits sealed, everyone confined to their quarters, guards posted at every junction. No one in or out until we identify who sent the assassin. I'm standing in my blood-spattered nightgown, still shaking from adrenaline, when Elder Moira and 2 other council members burst into my quarters. This is an outrage, Moira hisses, staring at the dead body. The exile attacks a member of our security force and you lock down the palace? That's not a security force member. Marcus has arrived, crouching beside the corpse. He pulls back the hood to reveal a face none of us recognize. Professional killer. Look at the tattoos. Shadow Guild. They only take contracts for high-value targets. How convenient, Moira says coldly. The girl claims self-defense, murders someone, and now we're supposed to believe she's the victim? She is the victim. Lucian's voice cuts like a blade. Someone hired an assassin to kill her in her sleep. In my palace. Under my protection. His gold eyes sweep over the elders. Which means someone in my inner circle is a traitor. The temperature in the room drops about 20 degrees. You can't possibly think, Moira starts. I don't know what to think. Lucian moves to stand beside me, a united front. But I'm going to find out. Starting now. He turns to Marcus. Get Garrett. I want a full security sweep. Check everyone's quarters, communications, financial records. Someone paid for this hit, and they used palace access to let the killer in. Your Majesty. Elder Cassius appears in the doorway, his ancient face arranged in concern. Perhaps the situation calls for a more measured response. Locking down the palace creates panic. Good. Lucian's smile is sharp. Panic makes traitors sloppy. You're all confined to quarters until further notice. That includes the council. Cassius's expression flickers, just for a second, with something that might be fear or rage. This is highly irregular. So is assassination. Lucian gestures to the guards. Escort Elder Cassius and Elder Moira to their quarters. Politely. But if they resist, you have permission to use force. I watch them go, reading the fury in Cassius's rigid shoulders. He's losing control of the situation, and he knows it. That was a risk. I tell Lucian once we're alone with Marcus. I'm done playing politics. He looks at the dead assassin. They came for you in the heart of my palace. That's a declaration of war. They came for me because of what I am. I take a breath. And I think it's time you knew the truth. All of it. We relocate to Lucian's private study, the most secure room in the palace, warded against listening spells and surveillance. Marcus stands guard while I tell them everything my mother told me before she died. The moon-blessed healers weren't just gifted, I begin. We were created. 3,000 years ago, the moon goddess chose a female wolf and blessed her with divine healing magic. That wolf became the first Luna. Not a title, but a calling. Her daughters inherited the gift, and their daughters after them. A matriarchal bloodline, Marcus says. Yes, for centuries, moon-blessed healers served all packs. We could cure any poison, break any curse, even bring wolves back from the brink of death. I meet Lucian's eyes. We were also the only ones who could challenge a Lycan king's authority. Our magic came directly from the goddess. It couldn't be commanded or controlled by alpha power. Understanding dawns in Lucian's expression. My father saw you as a threat. Not just your father. Every authoritarian ruler for the last 500 years has tried to control or eliminate the moon-blessed line. I paced to the window, looking out at the moonlit gardens. We survived by staying hidden, serving quietly, never drawing attention. My mother was the last acknowledged moon-blessed. She married my father, a healer but not blessed, hoping to obscure the bloodline. But Cassius found out, Lucian says. He's a scholar of old magic. He must have traced the lineage. My hands clench. My mother told me once that there was a prophecy, something about the moon blessed and the Lycan throne. She never got to tell me the full version before. I swallow hard. Before they killed her. Marcus pulls out his tablet, typing rapidly. There are restricted archives in the palace library. Historical documents that require royal clearance. He looks at Lucian. Your father sealed a section 30 years ago, right around the time he took the throne. Can you access it? Lucian asks. Not remotely. We'd need to physically go to the archives. Then we go. Lucian's already moving toward the door. Now, while everyone's confined to quarters. The palace archives are buried deep beneath the main structure, protected by wards and locked doors that only respond to royal blood. Lucian presses his hand to each seal, and I feel the ancient magic recognize his lineage, granting passage. The restricted section is exactly what you'd expect. Dusty, dark, filled with crumbling texts and forgotten secrets. Marcus locates the sealed documents while I search the shelves, my healer senses tingling with recognition. Here, I breathe, pulling out a leather-bound journal. My mother's handwriting covers the first page. Property of Helena Thornwood, moon-blessed healer, keeper of the ancient ways. My throat closes. I trace her words with shaking fingers. Aria. Lucian's voice is gentle. What does it say? I flip through pages of healing recipes and magical theory until I find it. An entry dated 3 months before the purge. The dreams are getting stronger. I see her, my daughter, grown and powerful, standing beside a king with eyes like gold. The bond between them glows silver and gold, bright enough to blind. Together they will break the curse that has plagued our people for 500 years. Together they will end the age of tyrants and restore the goddess's true purpose. But the vision comes with a price. The old powers will not surrender easily. They will come for our family. They will use our love against us. I must prepare Arya for what's coming, even if she doesn't understand yet. I've arranged for Elena to be taken to safety if the worst happens. Marcus Steele's family owes us a blood debt. They will protect her when I cannot. Arya is strong enough to survive, but Elena is still so young. Too young to bear the weight of our legacy. If you're reading this, my darling girl, it means I'm gone. It means the prophecy is unfolding as foreseen. Trust your instincts. Trust your heart. And trust the king with golden eyes. He is not his father. He carries his own scars, his own regrets. Together, you can heal what has been broken. Tears streamed down my face. She knew. My mother knew everything that was coming, and she still sent me away. Still tried to protect me the only way she could. Marcus. I look at him with new understanding. Your family, the Steeles. He nods slowly. My father never told me why he helped Elena. Just said it was a blood debt that had to be honored. He died 3 years ago without explaining. He helped my mother with a difficult birth. I remember. Saved his mate and child when every other healer said they would die. My mother pulled off a miracle. I turned to Lucian. That's how Elena survived. Your beta's family was already sheltering her when you found her. That's why she was at that facility, Marcus realizes. The purists must have tracked her to my family's territory. They raided under the guise of rogue suppression and took her. I never connected it because I didn't know she existed. Lucian's expression hardens. But I found her before they could do permanent damage. Got her out and placed her with a family I trusted absolutely, one with no connection to any of this. I want to be angry that he kept this from me. But reading my mother's words, seeing her faith in this very moment, I understand. Everything has been moving toward this point, this choice. There's more, Marcus says, holding up an ancient scroll. The full prophecy. Listen to this. When the cursed king takes the throne, poisoned by silver, bleeding and alone, the moon-blessed healer shall return, and together the old order shall burn. Their bond shall forge a new dawn, breaking chains that have held too long, but only if they choose the light and surrender to their fated right. Beware the ones who deal in lies, who wear kind faces as disguise, for the greatest threat comes from within, where trust and treachery are twin. Cursed king, I repeat, you're not just poisoned, you're cursed. By what? Lucian asks. By your father's sins. I move closer to him, placing my hand over his heart. Through our bond, I feel it. A darkness woven into his very essence, placed there not by silver but by blood inheritance. Every atrocity Maddox committed, every life he took unjustly, it all feeds back into the royal line. You've been carrying his guilt, his karma, without even knowing it. That's why the silver keeps returning, Marcus says. It's not just poison. It's drawn to the curse like a magnet. And completing our mate bond would break it. I finish. My moon-blessed magic combined with your royal power would cleanse the bloodline, end the curse cycle. I step back, overwhelmed. That's what they're afraid of. Not just our children, though that's part of it. They're afraid of what we represent. Change, justice, the end of their control. Lucian sinks into a chair, processing. My father was a pawn. Cassius fed him lies about your family, manipulated him into ordering the purge, all to prevent this moment. And now Cassius is trying to finish the job, Marcus adds. Kill you both before the bond can complete. There's something else. I pull out another page from my mother's journal, this one with detailed drawings. Moon-blessed healers had one more gift. We could see the truth in people, their real intentions, their hidden loyalties. I look at Lucian. That's why your father really feared us. We would have exposed every corrupt elder, every false alliance, every dirty secret. We were walking lie detectors that couldn't be fooled. Can you do it? He asks. See the truth? I don't know. My mother died before she could fully train me. I study the drawings, complex ritual circles, and moon phases. But according to this, the gift activates fully when a moon-blessed completes her mate bond with an alpha. The implications hang heavy in the air. So to identify the traitors and save the pack, Marcus says slowly, you'd have to accept the bond completely. Binding myself permanently to Lucian. I meet the king's gold eyes, becoming his Luna, his queen, taking on everything that comes with it. I won't force you. Lucian stands, crossing to me. I know what I'm asking. I know my family took everything from you. And I know this bond feels like the goddess's cruelest joke. He cups my face gently. But I'm asking anyway. Not because of prophecy or politics or survival. I'm asking because in 3 days, you've reminded me what it means to fight for something beyond power. You've shown me strength without cruelty, healing without submission. His thumb brushes my cheekbone. You've shown me who I want to be. The mate bond pulses between us, warm and insistent. I need time, I whisper. I'll give you whatever you need. But time is exactly what we don't have. Marcus's phone buzzes. He checks it and his face goes white. Security breach. Someone accessed the royal kitchens 30 minutes ago. And Lady Seraphina just requested an emergency meeting with you, Your Majesty. Lucian's expression hardens. Trap? Probably. But we need to know what she's planning. Marcus is already pulling up schematics. I can position guards here, here, and here. If she makes a move, she won't do it herself. I interrupt. She's too smart. She'll have already set whatever it is in motion. As if on cue, a guard bursts into the archives. Your Majesty, King Lucian, something's wrong with your Beta Garrett. He collapsed during rounds, and there are reports of illness spreading through the guard barracks. My blood runs cold. Silver poisoning, multiple victims. That's impossible, Marcus says. We screen all food and water. Not water. I'm already running for the door. Air. If they vaporize silver into the ventilation system, everyone in certain sections would be exposed. We race through the palace, and I feel it. The wrongness in the air, metallic and toxic. Guards are dropping, clutching their throats. Servants flee in panic. And through the bond, I feel Lucian's distress spike. The king's quarters, I gasp. That's the primary target. We burst into his rooms to find Garrett convulsing on the floor, silver foam bubbling from his lips. But Lucian's not there. Where is he? Marcus demands of the guards. Lady Seraphina sent word you'd been injured, ma'am. One stammers. His Majesty went to your quarters to check on you. No. No, I'm running again. Marcus beside me, terror clawing at my throat. Through the bond, I feel Lucian's confusion turn to alarm, then to agony. We find him collapsed in my quarters, which are in the East Wing, which weren't affected by the ventilation poisoning because it's a different system. This was targeted, specific, personal. Seraphina stands over him, a silver syringe in her hand. Her beautiful face twisted with satisfaction. Too late, she purrs. This dose is 20 times what he's been getting. Even the great Lucian Blackthorn can't survive this. Marcus lunges for her, but she's already moving, inhumanly fast, disappearing through a hidden panel I didn't know existed. I don't chase her. I drop to Lucian's side, my hands finding his chest. His heart's barely beating. The silver's spreading like wildfire through his system, burning everything it touches. Arya. His voice is barely a whisper. Can't feel anything. Don't talk. Save your strength. I pour healing magic into him, but the curse grabs it, twists it, turns it against itself. The silver's too much, the curse too strong, and my power alone isn't enough. Marcus. Tears stream down my face. Get Elder Moira. Get the council. Get everyone. What are you doing? Marcus asks. Completing the bond. I lean down, pressing my forehead to Lucian's. It's the only way to save him. Arya. Lucian's eyes flutter open, gold dimmed to almost brown. Don't do this just to save me. I'm not. And as I say it, I realize it's true. I'm doing this because my mother was right. Because the prophecy is real. Because you're not your father, and I'm not just my past. I kiss him softly. And because somewhere in the last 3 days, I stopped wanting you dead and started wanting you alive. That's almost romantic. He manages. Shut up and let me save you. The mate bond ritual is simple in theory. A complete acceptance, soul to soul, magic to magic, witnessed by the pack. In practice, it's terrifying. Marcus returns with the elders, who stare in shock at their dying king. Elder Cassius's face is a mask of fury. This is a sacred rite. Moira protests. It cannot be done under duress. Watch me. I cut my palm with a silver knife. The irony isn't lost on me. And press it to Lucian's chest, over his failing heart. I, Arya Thornwood, last of the Moon Blessed, Accept Lucian Blackthorn as my mate, my bond, my king. Power surges through me, silver and gold intertwining. I claim him, I choose him, and I will not let him die. Lucian's hand finds mine, his blood mixing with mine. I, Lucian Blackthorn, accept Arya Thornwood as my mate, my bond, my Luna. His voice strengthens as the bond snaps fully into place. I claim her, I choose her, and I will spend my life, proving worthy of her choice. The magic detonates. Silver gold light explodes from our joined hands, flooding through Lucian's body, burning away the silver poison, shattering the curse that's plagued his bloodline. The power spreads through the room, through the palace, through the pack bonds themselves. And I see everything. Every lie, every betrayal, every hidden truth laid bare. Elder Cassius, arranging my family's murder. Seraphina, dosing Lucian's food for months. Moira, covering up evidence to protect the old guard. Dozens of smaller conspiracies, centuries of corruption, all of it visible like watching 1,000 screens at once. Guards, I hear myself say, my voice echoing with power I've never possessed. Arrest Elder Cassius for treason and murder. Arrest Elder Moira for conspiracy and obstruction. And find Lady Seraphina before she reaches the border. They move instantly, compelled by Luna command they didn't even know I could wield. Lucian sits up, color returning to his face, the silver poison completely purged, the curse broken. He stares at me with awe. You're glowing, he says. I look down. He's right. Silver gold light wraps around me like a cloak, the physical manifestation of moon-blessed power fully awakened. Well, I manage. That's new. Then the visions hit. I see Elena, safe in the north, but confused as her wolf tries to emerge despite the suppressants. I see Cassius's network, dozens of purists across multiple packs, all working toward the same goal. I see Seraphina fleeing through the forest, heading toward a safe house. And I see the future. Choices and paths, possibilities and prophecies, all branching from this moment. Are you all right? Lucian's hands frame my face. I can see everything, I whisper. It's overwhelming. Then we'll figure it out together. He pulls me against him and the bond hums with contentment. Luna Queen. Don't call me that yet. But I'm smiling through tears. I'm still processing the mate part. Take all the time you need. He kisses my forehead. We have the rest of our lives. Marcus clears his throat. Hate to interrupt, but we have a palace full of poisoned guards, a traitor on the run, and a conspiracy to dismantle. Right. I pull myself together, standing on shaky legs. The power settles into something manageable, instinctive. Get me to Garrett and the affected guards. I can heal them now. All of them, simultaneously. How? Marcus asks. I smile, feeling my mother's legacy flowing through me. Because I'm moon-blessed, and apparently I can do impossible things. As we head out to save the guards, stop Seraphina, and begin the hard work of rooting out corruption, I feel Lucian's hand slip into mine. The prophecy was right. The old order is burning, but from its ashes, something better is rising. Something that starts with two broken people choosing to heal together, and ends with a kingdom transformed. If you're still listening to this story up to this point, why don't you subscribe to this channel to continue getting impactful daily stories like this? We would be most grateful if you can do that to help boost this video to reach everyone. Thank you. Chapter 5. The healing wave that erupts from our completed bond isn't subtle. Golden light explodes through the palace like dawn breaking after an endless night, flooding every corridor, every room, every shadow. I feel it flowing through me. Not just my power, but something greater. Something divine. The guards who were convulsing from silver poisoning gasp as the magic washes over them, purging the toxin from their systems. Garrett sits up, eyes wide with wonder. Throughout the palace, I sense wolves being cleansed, healed, restored. And Lucian, he's transformed. The gray pallor is gone, replaced by vibrant health. The curse that's haunted his bloodline for generations shatters like glass, the pieces dissolving into light. Through our bond, I feel the moment his soul is freed from his father's sins, unburdened for the first time in his life. But the magic doesn't stop there. It spreads beyond the palace walls, touching the land itself. I feel the earth responding, awakening from a long sleep. Healing magic hasn't flowed freely through this territory in decades. The goddess's gift withdrawn when her blessed healers were slaughtered. Now it returns like a flood. Arya. Lucian's voice is filled with awe. Look. Through the window, I see it. The gardens that were merely beautiful are now luminous, every plant glowing with health. The forest beyond pulses with renewed vitality. Even the moon seems brighter, as if approving. Then she appears. The moon goddess manifests in the center of the room. Not fully, just an echo of her presence, but enough to drive everyone except Lucian and me to their knees. She's radiant, terrible, beautiful, ancient beyond measure. My children. Her voice resonates in our minds, our hearts, our very souls. You have chosen well. The bond is sealed, the prophecy begun. Through your union, balance returns. Through your love, healing spreads. Through your strength, my people shall know peace. What do you ask of us? Lucian manages, his alpha power allowing him to meet her gaze. Only what you would do anyway. She smiles, and it's like moonlight on water. Rule with wisdom. Protect with mercy. Build what was broken. Love without reservation. Her form begins to fade. The enemies you face now are but shadows of a greater darkness. Prepare yourselves. The moon blessed line lives again, which means ancient forces will stir. Trust in your bond. Trust in each other. And trust that I have not chosen you to fail. She vanishes, leaving only the lingering scent of night-blooming jasmine. The room erupts in chaos. Elders arguing, guards confused, Marcus trying to restore order. But Lucian and I are locked in our own world, drowning in the flood of memories and emotions the completed bond has unleashed. I feel everything he's ever felt. See everything he's seen. I'm 17 again, watching him argue with his father, begging for my family's lives. I feel the crack of ribs breaking as Maddox punishes him for weakness. I experience his exile to the military front. 2 years of blood and battle, fighting rogues while his father's atrocities continued at home. And I see the moment he found Elena. The horror on his face discovering a child in that research facility, strapped to a table covered in needle marks. The desperate drive to safety, not knowing if she'd survive. The years of checking on her, always in disguise. Making sure she was healthy and happy and free. He spent 5 years carrying this secret, this burden, waiting for the day he could make things right. I'm sorry. The words tear from my throat. I'm sorry I doubted you. I'm sorry I thought. Don't. He pulls me close, and through the bond I feel his own revelation. He's experiencing my memories now. The night of the purge through a child's eyes. My mother's scream. My father's blood. The desperate flight through the forest with hunters on my trail. 9 years of survival. 9 years of loneliness and grief and rage. 9 years of becoming someone hard enough to endure. He holds me while we both cry, sharing pain that's been locked away too long. Your mother was right, he whispers against my hair. We were both victims, both pawns in someone else's game. But we're not anymore. No, I pull back, meeting his gold eyes. Now we're the players. Marcus clears his throat loudly. Hate to interrupt the bonding moment, but we have a situation. Elder Cassius just tried to leave the palace. My guard stopped him at the north gate with 3 trunks of gold and a one-way portal stone to the Shadow Territories. I smile grimly. Perfect timing. Let's end this. We convene an emergency council meeting in the Great Hall. Every elder, every pack representative, every ranking wolf in the territory is summoned. Word has spread about the goddess's appearance, about my awakening, about the completed bond. The whispers are deafening. Cassius stands in chains before the throne, his ancient face twisted with fury. Elder Moira sits separately, also restrained. Seraphina was captured an hour ago trying to cross the border. She's being held in the dungeons. Elder Cassius. Lucian's voice echoes through the hall, carrying alpha command that makes even the strongest wolves flinch. You stand accused of treason, murder, conspiracy, and crimes against the moon goddess herself. How do you answer? I answer that I served this kingdom faithfully for 70 years. Cassius's voice doesn't shake. I protected our people from corruption, from abominations that would dilute pure wolf bloodlines with magical perversions. You mean healers, I say coldly. You orchestrated the murder of innocent families because their gifts threatened your power. Their gifts were unnatural. He spits the words. The moon goddess blessed us to be warriors, hunters, alphas. Not magical weaklings who heal instead of fight. The ancient ways were dying, and I preserved them. By killing children? Marcus steps forward with a tablet. We found your records, Cassius. Names, dates, locations. You didn't just target Arya's family. You've been systematically eliminating healer bloodlines for 30 years. Gasps ripple through the hall. I did what was necessary. No remorse in his voice. King Maddox understood. He knew the moon-blessed line had to end before the prophecy could be fulfilled. Before a healer, Luna could corrupt the throne. My father was a fool. Lucian's words cut like a blade. And you manipulated him perfectly. Fed him lies about coups and conspiracies, provided false evidence, all to trick him into ordering the purge. I showed him the truth, Cassius snarls. That woman, Helena Thornwood, she could see through our plans, could expose every secret, every necessary compromise. She had to die. They all had to die. The confession hangs in the air. Even his supporters look shocked. Necessary compromises. I step down from the dais, my Luna power making the air shimmer gold around me. Let me show everyone what he means by that. I touch Cassius's forehead, and my awakened sight pours his memories into the collective consciousness of every wolf in the hall. They see what I see. Children stolen from families. Healers experimented on like animals. Torture justified as research. Bloodlines tracked and eliminated. Evidence fabricated. Innocent wolves executed. Decades of calculated cruelty, all in the name of purity. The hall erupts in fury. Even Cassius's allies recoil in horror. You're a monster, someone shouts. You're worse than rogues. Death. He deserves death. Lucian raises his hand for silence. Elder Cassius, by the power vested in me as Lycan King, and witnessed by the moon goddess herself, I strip you of your title, your lands, and your pack bonds. You are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment in the Shadow Territories, where you'll have eternity to contemplate your crimes. A fate worse than death for a wolf. Permanent exile to a realm of darkness, cut off from the moon and pack forever. Cassius laughs bitterly. You think this ends with me? The purists span every major pack. We're a network, a movement. Kill one and 10 more rise. You've won nothing. Maybe. I smile. But we've exposed you. And now every pack knows what you really are. Not guardians of tradition, just murderers afraid of change. He's dragged away, still laughing, but I see the fear underneath. He knows his cause died the moment the goddess appeared. Moira is next. Her crimes are lesser. Covering up evidence, obstructing justice, enabling Cassius's plans through willful ignorance. She's stripped of her eldership and banished to a border territory under watch. What about Lady Seraphina? Marcus asks. Bring her up, Lucian orders. The former perfect lady is disheveled, her designer clothes torn, her hair wild. But her ice blue eyes still burn with hatred as she's forced to her knees before us. Lady Seraphina of the Silver Crescent Pack. Lucian's voice is cold. You poisoned your king, attempted to murder your Luna Queen, conspired with traitors against the crown. Speak your defense. Defense? She laughs, high and sharp. I have no defense. I did everything they said. Dosed you with silver for months, planted evidence, hired assassins, all of it. She glares at me. Because you don't deserve him. You're an exile, an outcast. I'm noble-born, trained since childhood to be a Luna Queen. And you just walked in and took everything. I didn't take anything, I say quietly. The goddess chose us for each other. The goddess. Seraphina's laugh turns to a sob. Do you know what the prophecy really says? About what your children will be? Wolves powerful enough to reshape reality itself? To command pack bonds, to control other alphas, to wield both warrior and healer magic. She looks at Lucian. I was supposed to give you that. Me. My bloodline combined with yours would have created gods among wolves. But your bloodline isn't blessed, Marcus interjects. You're just regular. Regular. The word breaks something in her. My whole life I was told I'd be queen, that my beauty, my breeding, my training made me special. And then she appears, she spits at me, and suddenly none of it matters because she glows in the dark. I almost feel sorry for her. Almost. You'll be tried by your own pack, Lucian decides. The Silver Crescent can determine your fate, but you're banished from this territory forever. If you return, the sentence is death. She's dragged away screaming threats and curses. The trials continue through the night. Smaller conspirators, lesser players, wolves who enabled or ignored the corruption. By dawn, we've rooted out dozens of purists from positions of power. But the real work is just beginning. Lucian stands before the assembled packs and makes his decree. By royal command, I hereby overturn every law my father enacted against healers. The purge is declared a crime against our people and the moon goddess herself. Any healer who is exiled is welcome to return with full honors and reparations. The hall erupts in cheers and scattered protests from old guard wolves who still cling to the past. Furthermore, Lucian continues, I declare that healing magic is not corruption but blessing, not weakness but strength. We've spent decades celebrating only warriors, only strength, only dominance. We forgot that true power includes compassion. True strength includes mercy. True dominance is protecting the vulnerable, not destroying them. He holds out his hand to me. I take it, stepping forward to stand beside him on equal ground. I present to you Arya Thornwood Blackthorn, moon-blessed healer, my chosen mate, and your Luna Queen. The coronation ceremony happens 3 days later, a blend of ancient healer magic and traditional pack rituals. I stand in a circle of moonlight, wearing a crown wrought from silver and moonstone, while Lucian marks me as his mate before the entire kingdom. The bond between us flares bright enough to see from miles away, a beacon announcing the return of the moon-blessed line. But the moment that truly matters comes after, when we slip away to do what I've been dreading and longing for in equal measure. The drive to the Northern Pack territory takes 5 hours. Marcus accompanies us, along with a small security detail. We arrive at a modest house on the edge of a small town, where Elena has been living as Emma Stone, just another young wolf trying to find her way. I'm shaking as we approach the door. She doesn't know yet, Lucian reminds me. We sent word that Emma's birth family has been found, but we didn't explain who we are. How could we? My voice cracks. Hi, surprise. Your dead sister is actually alive and also the queen now? Something like that. He squeezes my hand. The door opens before we can knock. And there she is. Elena is 18 now, tall and lean with our mother's dark hair and our father's green eyes. She's beautiful, fierce, alive. She stares at me with confusion that slowly transforms into shocked recognition. Arya? She whispers. But they said you were dead. I thought you were dead too. I'm crying now, can't help it. Elena, I looked for you. For months after the purge. I thought they'd killed you with everyone else. Purge? She looks between us, frightened. What are you talking about? I was told rogues attacked our family, that I was the only survivor. Can we come in? Lucian asks gently. We have a lot to explain. We spend 3 hours telling her everything. The truth about our family, about the moon-blessed line, about the conspiracy that destroyed everything. I watch her face cycle through disbelief, horror, grief, and finally, rage. You've been alive this whole time? She rounds on me. 9 years and you never found me? I tried. I thought you were dead. And you? She turns to Lucian. You knew where I was for 5 years and never told her? I was protecting you, Lucian says calmly. If Arya knew, she would have come for you, and the purists would have killed you both. So instead you drugged me, suppressed my wolf, let me think I was human. Her hands shake with fury. Do you know what that's like? Feeling wrong, incomplete, broken? Yes. I move toward her. I know exactly what that's like. I've spent 9 years feeling wrong and broken and alone, but we found each other now. That's what matters. You're the queen. She laughs bitterly. Of course you are. Perfect Arya, always special, always gifted. And I'm just... What? The spare heir? You're my sister. I catch her hands. You're the only family I have left. You're the reason I survived all those years. Because I hoped, somewhere deep down, that maybe you'd made it too. She stares at me, green eyes swimming with tears. Then she collapses into my arms and we both sob. 9 years of grief finally finding release. I missed you, she chokes out. I missed you so much and I didn't even remember why. I know. I'm here now. I'm not leaving you again. We spend the next week in the north while Elena adjusts to the truth. Her adoptive family is understanding. They knew someday her real identity might surface. They're good people who loved her well. Marcus helps Elena through her first real shift now that the suppressants are cleared from her system. She's strong. Her wolf midnight black with silver-tipped ears. Healer bloodline manifesting differently, but no less powerful. You'll need training, I tell her as we walk through the forest. In healing magic, in pack politics, in everything our mother never got to teach us. Will you teach me? She asks shyly. Every day. I link my arm through hers. You're going to be amazing, Elena. I can feel it. Your power is different from mine. More intuitive, more instinctive. Combined with warrior training, you'll be formidable. Will they accept me at court? She's nervous. I'm nobody. Just a girl who thought she was human. You're Elena Thornwood, moon-blessed healer, sister to the Luna Queen. I smile. They'll accept you, or they'll answer to me. We return to the palace with Elena in tow. She's overwhelmed by the grandeur, the politics, the attention. But she adapts quickly, showing the same resilience that kept me alive. The remaining purists make one final attempt 3 weeks later. They infiltrate the palace during a diplomatic reception, planning to assassinate both Lucian and me simultaneously. 50 wolves in coordinated positions, armed with silver weapons and dark magic. They don't account for what we've become together. The moment the first assassin strikes, I feel it through the pack bonds. A ripple of hostile intent flooding the palace. My Luna power flares automatically, creating shields around every innocent wolf in the building. Lucian's alpha command roars through the bond network, freezing the attackers in place. They're strong, but they're individuals. We're a bonded pair, amplified by moon-blessed magic and royal power combined. The battle is over in minutes. We stand in the Great Hall, surrounded by defeated purists, and I make them an offer. Yield. Renounce your violent methods. Accept that healers belong in this kingdom, or face permanent exile. Most yield. Some choose exile, A handful try to fight, and learn why threatening a moon-blessed Luna is fatal. I don't kill them with violence. I kill them with healing. My power floods their bodies, forcing rapid regeneration that consumes their energy, draining their life force to fuel the very magic trying to save them. They collapse, unconscious, their wolves too exhausted to ever threaten anyone again. Mercy, I tell the survivors, is not weakness. It's giving you a choice. Choose wisely. The purest movement crumbles after that. Without their leadership, without the fear they relied on, they're just scared wolves clinging to a past that never truly existed. A month after the final battle, Lycan and I make a pilgrimage to my family's graves. They're buried in the old territory, beneath ancient oaks that have stood for centuries. The graves are unmarked. The purists denied them even that dignity. But I know where they rest. I can feel them. We spend the morning restoring the site, placing proper headstones, planting moonflowers that bloom only in darkness. Elena joins us, along with Marcus and a few trusted guards. I should have saved you, I whisper to the graves. I should have been stronger, faster, braver. You were 16. Lucian's arms wrap around me from behind. There was nothing you could have done. I know, but knowing doesn't make it hurt less. Elena kneels beside me, placing flowers on our mother's grave. Do you think they'd be proud of us? I look at my sister, strong and whole and free. I look at Lycan, the king who chose justice over tradition. I look at the kingdom we're building together, where healers and warriors work side by side. Yes, I say. I think they'd be very proud. We stay until sunset, sharing stories about our parents, reclaiming memories that the purists tried to destroy. When we finally leave, I feel lighter. Not healed completely. Grief doesn't work that way. But healing. Growing toward something better. That night in our quarters, I tell Lycan what I've suspected for a week. I'm pregnant. He freezes, then carefully sets down the report he was reading. You're certain? Moon-blessed healers always know. I smile, placing his hand on my still flat stomach. It's very early, just a few weeks. But yes, I'm certain. The expression on his face, wonder and terror and joy all mixed together, makes me laugh. We're having a baby, he says, testing the words. A heir, the first child born of a moon-blessed Luna and Lycan king in 5 centuries. The prophecy fulfilled. I lean into his embrace. Our child will be powerful, Lycan. More powerful than either of us. That's terrifying. We'll teach them. His hand spreads protectively over my stomach. Teach them strength with mercy, power with responsibility, how to heal and how to fight, how to be better than we were. Better than our parents were, I add softly. Much better. He kisses me, slow and deep, the mate bond singing contentment. 6 months later, I stand on the palace balcony watching Elena train warriors in the courtyard below. She's good, combining healer intuition with combat instinct in ways that surprise even Marcus. My pregnancy is obvious now. My moon-blessed magic glowing brighter as the child grows. Healers from across the kingdom have returned, bringing knowledge and skills that were nearly lost. The palace has become a center of learning again, not just a seat of power. Lycan joins me, wrapping his arms around my swollen belly. Through the bond, I feel our child respond to his presence, a flutter of recognition. Happy? He asks. Yes. And I mean it. For the first time in 9 years, I'm genuinely happy. Good. He kisses my neck. Because you're stuck with me forever now. I can think of worse fates. We watch the sunset paint the sky in shades of amber and gold. The kingdom is healing. Our family is whole. The future stretches bright before us. I think about everything we've survived to get here. The pain, the loss, the betrayal, the choice to trust despite every reason not to. It wasn't easy. It wasn't simple. but it was worth it. The moon goddess chose well, I think, even if I hated her for it at first. Lucian's hand covers mine, our rings catching the dying light. I love you, he says, in case I haven't mentioned it today. You mentioned it at breakfast, and lunch, and 3 times this afternoon. I turn in his arms, smiling, but feel free to mention it again. I love you, Arya Thornwood Blackthorn, Luna Queen, Moon Blessed Healer, Pain in my ass, and light of my life. Much better. I kiss him, tasting sunset and promises and forever. Below us, Elena laughs at something Marcus said. In the palace, healers and warriors share dinner as equals. In the kingdom, change ripples outward like waves from a stone dropped in still water. We've built something my parents would be proud of. Something worth fighting for, worth dying for, worth living for. And as our child kicks against my ribs, strong and insistent, I know the story isn't over. It's just beginning. But for now, in this moment, wrapped in my mate's arms with my sister safe and our kingdom healing, I let myself simply be. Happy. Whole. Home. Epilogue, 3 months later. The figure in the shadows watches the palace from the forest edge, amber eyes glowing in the darkness. The moon-blessed line lives. A voice whispers, ancient, hungry, patient. The prophecy unfolds as foreseen. Another figure emerges from the trees. Should we move against them? No. The first voice is amused. Let them think they've won. Let them build their peace, raise their child, cement their power. A pause. And when they're comfortable, when they believe the danger has passed, the Shadow King rises. Indeed. Amber eyes fixate on the distant glow of Arya's magic, visible even from miles away. She carries the child of prophecy, the one who will be powerful enough to break the final seal, powerful enough to free him. And if she refuses? Laughter, cold as winter frost. They all refuse, at first. But prophecy doesn't require consent. It simply happens. The figures melt back into shadow, leaving only whispered words hanging in the night air. The moon-blessed line lives on, which means the Shadow King's prophecy can finally be fulfilled. Deep beneath the earth, in a prison sealed for 5,000 years, something stirs and waits. The true battle is just beginning. The end, or is it? Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe, like, and share this video to continue listening to this type of story daily. And also, to appreciate this community too. I would like to hear your wonderful opinion about this story. Please comment below.